The data shows a wide variety of sentences. Weighing all the relevant factors, the court determines that the sentence is 50 months of incarceration.
50.
4 years.
4 years.
5-0.
4 years, 2 months.
2 months.
Yep.
Wow.
50 months.
After watching the 50 Cent produced Diddy documentary, did it change how you viewed Suge's role at all and people alleging that he was involved with Tupac's death? Absolutely. Sometimes you get away with stuff, and you like when you hear the song on the, I put $1 billion on your head. Real kid like, and nobody want to nobody. And really don't let nobody know. I mean, it's all fucked up. It was a setup. It was a plot to my brother. I feel fucked up about it. This is a major development, folks. According to 50 Cent, the FBI wasn't just watching Sean Diddy Combs for his current crimes. They were quietly circling him because of something much darker, a trail of evidence that keeps leading back to the murders of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. In this video, we're going to go over some of the newest revelations in the case from Diddy's closest allies, such as Kirk Burroughs and Gene Deal, and even Tupac's own family and his brother Mopreme and cousin Jamala, both of whom were extremely close to the situation. Tupac and Biggie were once close friends, both rising fast, both changing hip-hop forever. But they were killed at the peak of their fame, just 6 months apart. Now, people who were actually there are speaking up. Tupac's cousin, former Bad Boy artist Mark Curry, former LAPD detective Greg Kading, and even a former Crips member all tell pieces of the same story. Tupac's death was engineered by someone. And according to Kirk Burroughs, a co-founder of Bad Boy Entertainment, Diddy was responsible for the shooting that tragically claimed Tupac's life. For years, no one was charged. The story became an urban legend. People made documentaries, wrote think pieces on this mystery. And now, it seems the FBI is finally closing in on the answer. The dominoes started falling in 2023 when Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was indicted for Tupac's murder. Former LAPD detective Greg Kading says something chilling in the documentary. It's really Keefe D. and Puffy Combs who are the last men standing during a recorded session with investigators. Keefe D. made explosive claims. He said that about a year before Tupac's death, Diddy stood in a room full of Crips and openly said he wanted Tupac and Suge Knight dead. Keefe D. also claimed Diddy later offered $1 million for it to happen. Keefe D. claims that there is this ongoing conversation. It happens on 3 different occasions, but most specifically, when he and Puffy are at this place called Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset, and they're there. Things have spiraled out of control. Puffy's really concerned about, the welfare is his safety. And he tells Keefe, man, I just need you to take care of this situation with Suge and Tupac. It's out of control. Suge is on, I'm sorry, Tupac's on vinyl talking about killing kids when they grow up. And it's just become this really serious conflict. And he says, I just need you to take care of it. And Keefe D is like, that's no problem. That's what we do. And so an agreement was made, according to Keefe D, for an amount of money, and they kind of just let it go at that point in time. But of course, Keefe D knows in the back of his mind, this is what Puffy wants. Done. And they all end up out in Las Vegas. Suge's out there. Before you say that, there's a couple things I want to talk about Vegas. So when you say that Keefe got offered an amount of money, according to him, was there a dollar amount? Yeah. So there was a dollar amount, but I think that, the nuances of this conversation are that like, I'll give you $1 million, whatever it takes. It's like exaggerated speech. But of course, when we interview Keefe D, he's like, yeah, that's the agreement. The amount was $1 million. So according to Keefe, he's claiming that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge or Tupac. Both of them. Both. Yeah, both their names came up. And according to Keefe D, he says, Tupac's but himself on the list. By all the shit talking that he is doing, the tapes don't stop there. Keefe D also talked about a gun hidden in a car connected to Eric Zip Martin, a man described as a powerful figure with close ties to Diddy. Tupac's brother even said that Zip and Diddy should have been investigated if Zip handed Keefe D the weapon. Yeah, I can see how Pac felt like they had something to do with the setup, man. But speaking of Puffy, right, how do you feel about the rumor that Puffy, he gave a guy named Eric Zip a check for $1 million to give to Keef to kill Tupac? I'm familiar with the story, I'm familiar with the dude. My man Big, Psych, rest in peace, used to know that dude. So you met Zip before. So how does that make you feel, man? Somebody that you met, and I'm sure that he knew that you was Tupac's brother. How does that make you feel knowing that he's the one that provided Keef D with the gun to kill Tupac? I mean, it's all fucked up. It was a setup. It was a plot to kill my brother. I feel fucked up about it. I don't know that, but I ain't got no love for none of them, straight up. It sounds like a typical plot. See, but considering who that guy is to Puffy and to Keef D, for it not to be addressed is weird. We will see. Burroughs' journals suddenly become critical here. Just days before Tupac was killed, Burroughs wrote that Diddy asked him to rent cars to drive from New York to Las Vegas for the fight. That request stood out. Flying would have been easier, but Burroughs followed instructions and logged everything: dates, costs, routes. Those handwritten notes are now part of the documentary. And it seems the FBI may be using those very notes in their investigation into Diddy. Security Gene Deal, who was there to secure Puff, all the other warnings that we got that we needed more security. The snafu in the business world came in like this. You have a budget for everything that you do. The budget for Big in LA for the awards show ended that Friday night, Saturday morning, when a new budget started to get him from LA to London, where he would be taken care of, with security, his friends, and everyone that he wanted to be with him, in the style that he was accustomed to handle the press junket. When that didn't happen, that budget was never opened. The budget for LA ended, and there was a great need for security that Saturday night, and he was out without that security. The beef was up, and we lost him. And in that decision, what it put us in that decision put us in the worst situation that we could have ever been in. We lost our number one talent. We're on a West Coast where we're surrounded by enemies who told us not to be here. We really shouldn't have been there, but we were. Now we have to get out of there. Just after midnight, Biggie left the party. At a red light, a car pulled up beside Biggie and him. Shots were fired. Biggie was hit multiple times and later pronounced dead. He was only 24. After Biggie's death, strange things began to happen. Reports surfaced that Biggie had been planning to leave Bad Boy Records. Legal battles over his publishing rights followed. Instead of Biggie being honored, Diddy appeared on the cover of major magazines. Just 2 months later, Diddy released I'll Be Missing You. The song became a global hit. His debut album followed and went multi-platinum. Years later, Diddy even admitted that Biggie's death increased his fame. That admission alone raised eyebrows. But the pattern didn't stop there. Over the years, several people closely connected to Diddy reportedly became ill, silenced, or passed away unexpectedly. Allegations surfaced, lawsuits were filed, stories emerged, then disappeared. But now though, Gene Deal, a longtime Bad Boy insider and former head of security, says the upcoming Keef D trial could change everything, especially because of the defense strategy Keef D is using. According to Gene, Keef D's defense is straightforward. He's claiming the reason Tupac was killed traces back to Puff. There's no physical evidence that Keef D had something to do with Pac's death. There's circumstantial evidence. There's people that could probably testify of what somebody told them or heard. So now, Keef D's lawyers, they did a great job when they did trial by judge, because the judge is looking for physical evidence. What ties Keef D to Puff? What ties Keef D to the murder of Tupac? And how could they prove that either one of them has something to do with it? Somebody would have to get on the stand and say that, I saw him, he told me, and they're going to have to believe them. So do they believe Keef D if he told a lot of different stories? You gotta realize he may have told more than 1 or 2 stories because he told that story. Now, what about the stories he told prior to this? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look at that. You're gonna look at, okay, did he get the money? Where's the money? At? Who got the money? Who wrote the check? Who paid the money? Where did it come from? When did it come from? Gene points out that there's no physical evidence placing Keef D at the scene, pulling the trigger. What exists instead are statements, secondhand accounts, and claims about conversations that allegedly took place. That's why Keefe's lawyers pushed for a judge trial instead of a jury. A judge looks for hard proof, not emotional testimony. So the real questions become unavoidable. What ties Keefe directly to Tupac's murder? Well, for one, Keefe himself has admitted to killing Tupac. In 2008, Keefe's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac, and that the kid, who was jumped at the MGM, was in the group that had done the hit, and that they originally were going to do it at Suge's Vegas nightclub, but then decided to do it right away instead of waiting. This was exactly the same story that Keefe told us a decade later. Very few people know that immediately after Tupac is shot and that white Cadillac is fleeing, one of the death row entourage, a guy named Alton McDonald, known as Buntry, chases after the Cadillac, and a second shooting takes place between the two vehicles. Alton McDonald's car is struck. In fact, within the Las Vegas murder files, there's a document that indicates that Alton McDonald's car had been struck by a bullet that night. Yeah, and he even said that, like, in retrospect, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy by Zip stealing the money. Now, Puffy isn't connected to that, or else it would have been like a murder for hire or something. You know what I'm saying? The FBI said Zip, so the FBI told you, yeah. So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as well. He said, Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody cross you. You the last one to know everything. Even lawyers, your friends, everybody can cross your ass. Gene says the only way this case truly comes together is if someone takes the stand and says, I heard this conversation. I saw this exchange. I know where the money came from. But even that isn't easy. Keefe has told different versions of his story over the years. And when someone changes details, every previous statement gets re-examined. Prosecutors have to explain why this version should be believed over the others. Gene says that if investigators could prove that money moved from Diddy through intermediaries and ended up connected to Keefe D, and if the people involved confirm that story, then everything changes. Now, Gene has for the longest time claimed that Diddy and Pac were not on good terms. And this is something that even Tupac's cousin, Jamala Lassan, has corroborated recently. So I run into Suge. Pac had the fight with Orlando Anderson. He come upstairs to the hotel room. First of all, when we get to Vegas, right, he flipped on me. He, like, yo, move. Because I'm thinking when we get to Vegas, we're going to turn up. It's gonna be all lit. But once we get there, he turned on me like, nah, Moo, I don't want you coming out. You and Kadada stay in the hotel and so forth. So I'm feeling the way. I'm like, fuck, ain't this, like how you gonna bring us out here? Now we gotta stay in our rooms. So I'm rebellious, right? So I'm being rebellious, right? So Suge Pac comes in the room. He's talking about how he just knocked out some dude. I don't know who the dude is. I didn't know later that this is Orlando Anderson, the head of the Crips and all this crap. You know what I mean? So when Pac come in the room talking about it, I'm like, oh, word? Say word, Pac. So he changed. That's when he changed from the orange button-up shirt that he had on, and he put on the green, like, basketball jersey type of shirt, right? So at this point, he's looking for the outlaws. He don't know where they at, and he's telling me and Kadada to chill in the room. But see, let me tell you something. I do know, and it's from me to any street nigga. Them souls do not rest. And that's what I want to tell Puffy. Bro, all the people we know, they don't rest, bro. You see, justice won't get right up. We just got so that day, you just waiting on dough, that knock on the door, because them souls don't rest, bro. And we was misled. A lot of us was misled to hurt each other and be kingpins and guns and gangsters. Now, it seems there will be more eyes on Keefe's trial than ever in August. And we will be covering that for you guys with all the latest. Will you be watching the trial? Let us know in the comments.